The Patriarch of the Church of the East is the Patriarch, or leader and head bishop of the Church of the East. The position dates to the early centuries of Christianity in Persia, and the church has been known by a variety of names, including Nestorian Church, the Persian Church, the Sassanid Church, or East Syrian. In the 16th and 17th century, the church experienced a series of splits, resulting in a series of competing patriarchs and lineages. Today, the three principal churches that emerged from these splits, the Assyrian Church of the East, Ancient Church of the East, and the Chaldean Catholic Church, each have their own patriarch. The Patriarch of the Assyrian Church of the East and the Patriarch of Babylon of the Chaldeans, respectively. History. The geographic location of the Patriarchate was first in the Persian capital of Seleucia in central Mesopotamia. In the 9th century, the Patriarchate moved to Baghdad and then through various cities in what is now northern Iraq and northwest Iran, including Tabriz, Mosul, and Maragha on Lake Urmia. Following the Chaldean Catholic Church split from the Assyrian Church, the respective patriarchs of these churches continued to move around the Middle East. In the 19th century, the Patriarchate of the Assyrian Church of the East was in the village of Kudüs in southeastern Turkey. In the 20th century, the Assyrian Patriarch went into exile, relocating to Chicago, Illinois, United States. Another Patriarchate, which split off in the 1960s as the Ancient Church of the East, is in Baghdad. The Patriarchate of the Church of the East evolved from the position of the leader of the Christian community in Seleucia, the Persian capital. While Christianity had been introduced into Assyria and the Persian Empire in the 1st centuries AD, during the earliest period, leadership was unorganized and there was no established succession. In 280, Papa Barigai was consecrated as Bishop of Seleucia by two visiting bishops, Akadaba of Arbela and Hybel of Susa, thereby establishing the generally recognized succession. Seleucia thus became its own episcopal see, and exerted some de facto control over the wider Persian Christian community. Papa's successors began to use the title of Catholicos, a Roman designation probably adopted due to its use by the Catholicos of Armenia, though at first it carried no formal recognition. In 409, the Church of the East received state recognition from the Sassanid Emperor Jahrhunderts I, and the Council of Seleucia was called, at which the Church's hierarchy was formalized. Bishop Mosaizist was the first to be officially styled Catholicos over all of the Christians in Persia. Over the next decades, the Catholicoi adopted the additional title of Patriarch, which eventually became the better-known designation. In the 16th century, another schism separated the Church, with those following Nestorianism separating from a group which entered into communion with the Roman Catholic Church. This latter group, known initially as the Church of Assyria and Mosul, and latterly the Chaldean Catholics, continues also to maintain its own list of Chaldean Catholic patriarchs. Because of the complex history of Eastern Christianity, it is difficult to define one single lineage of patriarchs, though some modern churches, such as the Assyrian Church of the East, claim all patriarchs through the centuries as the Assyrian Patriarch, even though the modern version of the church did not come into being until much more recently. Language. The adherents of the Assyrian Church of the East, Ancient Church of the East, and Chaldean Catholic Church celebrate the liturgy of Maradi and Marmari in the East Syriac dialect. At its peak, the Church of the East celebrated the liturgy in East Syriac in modern-day Syria, Palestine, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, India, Sri Lanka, Lanka, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Mongolia, China and Japan. The Church also uses Assyrian Neo-Aramaic, which is the vernacular language of its adherents, as well as English, Arabic, Persian, Turkish and the languages of the countries of the diaspora. List of Catholicoi of Seleucia-Cte and Patriarchs of the East until 1552. According to church legend, the apostleship of Edessa is alleged to have been founded by Shimun Keeper, Thomashliker, Ptolemy and of course Maradai, of the 70 disciples. St. Thaddeus was martyred c. 66 AD Edessa era, the first of Marchagi, first successor to the apostleship of his spiritual director the apostle St. Thaddeus, one of the 70 disciples. He in turn was the spiritual director of Marmari. Paolo of Edessa, renamed Marmari, second successor to the apostleship of Maradai of the 70 disciples. During his days a bishopric was formally established at Seleucia-Cte. 3. Abras Judiciarios relocates Jerusalem Church to Edessa in 136 AD. 4. Abraham. 5. Yaquobi. 6. Ebidm Zika. 7. Ahadabui, first bishop of the East to get static honors Catholicos, ordained in 231 AD in Jerusalem Council. 8. Shahilupa of Kashkabaragai, metropolitan of Seleucia-Cte, elevated as titular Catholicos around 280. Visiting bishops consecrated Papa Baragai as bishop of Seleucia-Cte, thereby establishing the succession. With him, heads of the church took the title Catholicos. 9. Papa Baragai. 10. Shemon Bar Sabari. 11. Shardust. 12. Barbashmin. The apostolic see of Edessa is completely abandoned in 345 AD due to persecutions against the Church of the East. 13. Tomasa. 14. Karyoma. 15. Isaac. Catholicos of the East with jurisdiction over eastern provinces. Isaac was recognized as Grand Metropolitan and Primate of the Church of the East at the Synod of Seleucia-Cte in 410. The acts of this synod were later edited by the Patriarch Joseph to grant him the title of Catholicos as well. This title for Patriarch Isaac in fact only came into use towards the end of the 5th century. 16 Aa, 17 Yaborlahara, 18 Mana, 19 Farbokt, 20 Dardasho, 421-456 Tad. With Dardasho, the significant disagreement on the dates of the Catholicoi in the sources start to converge. In 424, under Mar Dardasho I, the Church of the East declared itself independent of all other churches. Thereafter, its Catholicoi began to use the additional title of Patriarch. During his reign, Nestorianism was subsequently denounced at the Council of Ephesus in 431. 21 Baboi, 22 Barsauma opposed by Cassius, 23 Babai, 24 Sheila, 25 Elisha Narsi Intrusis, 26 Paul, 27 Abarai. In 544 the Synod of Mar Abarai adopted the ordinances of the Council of Chalcedon. 28 Joseph, 29 Ezekiel, 30 Isho Yhbi, 31 Sabrishoi, 32 Gregory vacant Babai the Great 609-628, together with Abba 609-628. From 628, the Maphrian also began to use the title Catholicos. See the list of Maphrians for details. 33 Isho Yhb2. 34 Marema, 35 Isho Yhb3, 36 Iwagasai, 37 Yohanan I vacant, 38 Ninisho I Yohanan the leper Intrusus vacant, 39 Slibazkha vacant, 40 Bathian, 41 Abba 2, 42 Suran, 43 Yaquob II, 44 Ninisho II. In 775, the seat transferred from Seleucia Ctesiphon to Baghdad, the recently established capital of the Abbasid Caliphs. 45 Timothy I, 46 Ishobanun, 47 Guagas II, 48 Sabrisho II, 49 Abraham II vacant, 50 Theodosius vacant, 51 Sargis vacant, 52 Israel of Kashgar intrusus, 53 Enosh, 54 Yohanan II bar Nasai, 55 Yohanan III, 56 Yohanan IV bar Abgar, 57 Abraham III, 58 Emmanuel I, 59 Israel, 60 Abdashoi, 61 Mari, 62 Yohanan V, 63 Yohanan V bar Nazuk vacant, 64 Isho Yahbiv bar Ezekiel vacant, 65 Eliah I, 66 Yohanan 7 bar Targil vacant, 67 Sabrisho III, 68 Abdasho II Ibn al-Arid, 69 Makikarai, 70 Eliah II bar Mokli, 71 bar Sormar vacant, 72 Abdasho III bar Mokli, 73 Isho Yahbv, 74 Eliah III, 75 Yahbullah II, 76 Sabrisho IV bar Yoma, 77 Sabrisho V Ibn al-Masihi, 78 Makika II, 79 Denarai, 80 Yahbullah III, the patriarchal seat transferred to Maraha, 81 Timothy II vacant, 82 Dena II, 83 Shemon II, 83 B Shemon III, 84 Eliah IV, 85 Shemon IV Basidi, 86 Shemon V, 87 Eliah V, 88 Shemon Vi, 89 Shemon 7 Nisho Yhb. List of Patriarchs of the Church of the East from 1552 to 1681. By the schism of 1552 divided, the Church of the East was divided into many splinters, but two main factions, of which one entered into communion with the Catholic Church and the other remained independent. List of Patriarchs of the Church of the East from 1681 to 1820. In 1681 a separate patriarchate in communion with the Catholic Church was erected in a mid-splitting from the Elia line. In 1692 Shemon 13 Dinka of the Shimun line broke formally communion with Rome. With the reign of Patriarch Yohanan Hormizd, the Elia line in Alkosh entered in communion with Rome, merging with the Catholic Josephite midline and thus forming the modern Chaldean Church. In 1830, Yohanan Hormizd was recognized by the Vatican as Patriarch of Babylon of the Chaldeans and moved the see in Mosul. This event marked the birth of the modern Chaldean Catholic Church. For the following Chaldean patriarchs, see the below. The Shemon line remained the only line not in communion with the Catholic Church from the 19th century and continued to be known simply as the Church of the East. See the below. List of Patriarchs of the Chaldean Catholic Church since 1830. Non-hereditary line established with end of Elia line. 96 Yohanan 8 Hormizd moved the see to Mosul. 97 Nicholas I Zalia, 98 Joseph VI Ordo, 99 Elia Abilionan, 100 Ordishu V Karyath, 101 Yusuf via Manuel II Thomas, 102 Yusuf 7 Ghanima moved the see to Baghdad, 103 Paul II Keiko, 104 Raphael Ibid Orvid Locum Tenens Shleman Warduni, 105 Emmanuel III Delhi Locum Tenens Jacques Ishak, 106 Louis Raphael Isako, List of Patriarchs of the Church of the East since 1820. Continuation of the Shem on line 101. Shem on 17. Abraham residence continued in Orchanis. 102. Shem on 18. Rubel. 103. Shem on 19. Benjamin. Due to the Sappho, the residence in Orchanis ended in 1915, with Patriarch residing starting from 1915 between Urmia and Salmis, Persia, until his assassination in 1918, breaking up the multinational nature of the Church of the East, leaving many non-Assyrian bishops isolated in different parts of the world to continue their independent churches of the East autonomously. 104. Shem on XX. Paul Patriarch moved the Patriarchate to Mosul, Iraq. Locum tenens, Joseph Canonisho Abimelech Timotheus. 105. Shem on 23. Si, forced into exile in 1933, and thus the Patriarchate was temporarily located in Cyprus before relocating to Chicago, Illinois in 1940, and finally relocating to San Francisco, California in. He renamed church as Assyrian Church of the East, which along with other reforms led the ancient Church of the East to secede. He resigned in 1973, although unofficially still remained Patriarch. He was assassinated in San Jose, California. His death led to the end of the Shem line. List of Patriarchs of the Assyrian Church of the East. 105. Shem on 23. Si ended hereditary patriarchy. 106. Dinka IV, first canonically elected patriarch since 1600. Relocated the Patriarchate to Chicago, Illinois in 1980 after temporarily living in Tehran, Iran. Abolished hereditary succession upon his election. Locum tenens, Aprem Mukan. 107. Georges III, on the 18th of September 2015, designated Catholic as Patriarch-elect by the Holy Synod of the Assyrian Church of the East, consecrated and enthroned on the 27th of September 2015, in the Cathedral Church of St. John the Baptist, Erbil. List of Patriarchs of the Ancient Church of the East. In 1964, during the reign of Shem on 21 Si, a schism occurred in the Church of the East, causing the establishment of a separate Ancient Church of the East with its center in Baghdad. This schism occurred because of the changing of the church calendar from the traditional Julian calendar to the Gregorian one, along with hereditary succession and tribal rivalry. In 1968, communities in Iraq, Syria and India elected a rival patriarch centered in Baghdad, the then suspended Metropolitan of India Marthoma Damo. He consecrated prelates who in turn consecrated him patriarch. Many of the non-Assyrian autonomous communities isolated from the Church of the East in different parts of the world during the Sappho rallied the support for the Catholic oi of the ancient Church of the East. Currently the Patriarchate is located in Baghdad, Iraq. Vacant. First period of the schism. 106. Omadamo locum tenens, Adigruagus. 107. Maradai II. Various communities of Church of the East Old Calendarists seceded from the ancient Church of the East in 2011 by continuing to observe the 25th of December on January 6 and 25th of March on April 6, the Church of the East calendar being 12 days behind the Gregorian calendar.